Hello and welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. We're halfway through the year. We are at our 6-month point. Here is where we can take a look back at the progress we've made before we get to the end of the year. Everybody loves to talk about New Year's resolutions, and you hear about it for about 3 weeks and then come back around a year later and wonder if you have made any progress. This year, I have been trying to be very intentional about tracking my progress, not losing sight of my goals, my ambitions, what I'm trying to move forward from in my life. And I think I understand why it only lasts 3 weeks and why we let ourselves forget all about resolutions until it comes back around for the year. It's really hard to hold ourselves accountable, and it's really hard to take a honest look at ourselves and say, I'm not doing the things that I want to do, or I'm not doing the things that I said I would do. And I think a lot of us, I'll speak for myself, I don't have I need to, I want to speak for myself, Raven. Self-compassion is hard. Self-acceptance is hard. And I know how to be hard on myself, but being hard on myself has not really gotten me where I want to be. And avoidance and distraction come much easier than accountability and discipline. And I have been moving through the year with every full and new moon, writing down the changes that I want to make in order to get to my goals. And every time I open up this journal, I am reminded that I'm not doing the things that I want to, need to, deserve to do to bring my life to the place that I want it to be. At the end of the day, manifestation is not just hoping and wishing that it will happen and believing that it'll happen. You have to take steps towards making it happen. And a lot of the time, the manifestation or what you want to manifest stops the second it comes to taking action, because that action is often uncomfortable. That action is often creating a new habit and letting go of an old one and changing your thought patterns. And these are all really hard and ingrained things. And if you're like me, and maybe at any point in your life you've come into contact with somebody who has torn down your inner best friend and replaced it with a really loud inner critic, somebody who has made you doubt yourself and stop trusting that voice that lives within you. This could happen for anybody. This could be a teacher that doubted you. This could be a parent that didn't raise you with kind language. This could be a boyfriend or a girlfriend that just tore you down. We all have a story that brought us here. And it's hard to choose to rewrite that story, especially when it's been a lot of years. And it's hard to take an honest look at ourselves and what we're not doing, especially when our inner dialogue is very negative, because all we do is beat ourselves up. So I was journaling the other day, and I was trying to think of ways that I can change that inner critic to somebody beautiful, somebody supportive, somebody loving, somebody who believes in me, and who, when I make a mistake, 2 things happen. I'm very mean to myself, and then I just completely let myself off the hook. So there's no discipline, accountability, and I have it in some aspects of my life, right? I'm sure you can look at your life and look at things that you're very disciplined on. I am very good about getting exercise. Like, I am very good about going to the gym, about moving my body, but I'd like to start moving my body in a new way, in a way that's uncomfortable, in a way that doesn't feel so easy anymore. And that's hard for me, right? I work really, really, really hard. Like, I am always, when I get to a job, I wind up mastering it, right? Like, I'm a good worker. I am driven. I'm not lazy. And I want to take that and move it over to my own, like my own business, my own company, like creating something for myself and holding myself accountable there and being disciplined there is very difficult. But when I go to a job, like, I'm on it. So, ways to change or rewrite the conversation to bring compassion into myself while also creating discipline, I guess is where I'm getting at. So that the next 6 months, I can't change the previous 6. I can decide from right now on that I will make change. I can decide that I'm no longer not looking at this part of myself. I'm no longer hating this part of myself. I'm going to accept it and learn how to live life with it, learn how to thrive alongside it. So, some things that I had jotted down is every morning speaking or praying to your highest self and asking for what you need to be supported today. I think learning how to not find validation from outside of myself and give it to myself is something that I am definitely in need of working on, and amplifying my intuition and my trust in myself is something that will definitely create different momentum. So every morning, providing myself with my own support from who I want to be, my highest self, and how she would support me. And this could be like a meditation or 10 minutes of mindfulness where I just sit and like soak up that person and have a conversation or tune in with myself and who I am today and just ask myself what I need. Maybe that'll be my next guided meditation, is this inner dialogue of speaking to your highest self. And it'll be only 10 minutes, like you don't need forever, but taking that time and tuning in to learning to align with your most highest self instead of who you used to be. Oh, and this is something too that I've been thinking about, is how, like, I'll start something, right? Like my channel, whether it's that or TikTok or whatever. And it feels very vulnerable to put things out there, to start something new, whether somebody starts a business or a new job or even a relationship, right? And what you put out there at first is like your rough draft. And if you don't keep going, no one will ever see what it looks like for you to be an expert at whatever you decided to start. So like my first 100 videos on here, probably going to be garbage, right? And if I stop at 50, then people only see the garbage. I only see and I'm not going to call it garbage, but the first draft. When if I give myself time to create and grow and learn, I will have a beautiful representation of the journey. Who doesn't want to see the final copy? Who doesn't want to see everything that you could possibly bring to life? So don't stop at your rough draft. And your rough draft might be covered in red marker right now, and maybe you have to start all over again. I had started all over again so many times. I had a yoga studio that didn't work out the way I wanted it to. And then I tried again and it looked a little bit different. And then I tried again and it looked a little bit different. And now here I am. And it looks different from where I started, but it's all a part of the journey. And if I stopped when the studio failed, or if I stop now, I'll never know what the possibilities could look like. So, yeah, grow your faith and your patience with yourself. Give yourself the grace and compassion that you give others. And believe. I hope this was helpful. Stay tuned for the higher self meditation that I'm going to put up, and trust yourself a little more this week. Until next time.